Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy again. And today, once again, we will talk about a ship. You will say, we talked about that ship before, but we talk about this ship again for a reason, because you know that I'm slowly working my way through the 60s levels. And now I finally got my first UC 6-star ships. And this is one of them, my brand new Negh Var. And that's why we have a quick look at the basics again, and then I talk about my personal experience with the Negh Var so far, although it's still quite new. It's a battleship, so you will have to take care of the combat triangle. You know that it's strong against explorers and weak against interceptors. I made a video on the combat triangle if you don't know what I'm talking about. But that will really play a big part in G6 space, because the enemies are strong again and you will have to look out for it. It does have a ship ability, that's the asteroid field resistance. We talked about the hazard systems before and the different types of it. And this ship has an increased asteroid field resistance by 15% in the beginning. And this resistance is important. And so you can, for hostile hunting, pick hazard systems that you have more protection with a Negh Var, because if you look for asteroid field systems and not radiation or ion storm systems, then you can last a little bit longer there. It also has two abilities that you can unlock. That's the ship cloaking. That's a standard thing for the Klingons, of course, and the field repairs. To be honest, I still haven't unlocked any field repair so far. But that's why I haven't made a video on that one yet, because they're quite expensive in-game, the ones you can get. You cannot get them all in-game, but some of them, but it's quite hard to get them via the game itself. It starts, in my case, with 1.7 billion power. The interesting part is in the details. I have a damage per round with them with 144 million and a warp range of 1,269. The power is not very impressive compared to my 5-star epic ships. That's why I'm still out there hunting hostiles with my 5-star epics and not with the 6-star UC, because those are really weak in the beginning. And first of all, I definitely needed one of them for my Borg cube. To upgrade my Borg cube, I have to tier up one of the UCs. But also for purposes of getting acquainted to them, because G6 didn't exist on my last two servers. They introduced it while I was playing on this one. And so I have to find out a lot of things about this too. And so I will see when I upgrade those ships how much more sense they make in the future, because in the case of the 3-star, 4-star, 5-star ships, I always could tell you, yeah, you should build those, you should skip those, like the 4-star epics I told you to skip, unless you are like me, a ship collector and want to get them later. But at the point when you can do them, don't do them. Immediately go to the 5-star UC ships. That makes much more sense. And those are things that I'm still finding out here. And but these ships here, like the Negh Var, are the reason why it's quite important to get the 5-star epics, because they are much better in the beginning of your journey in the 60s levels than the 6-star UC ship. My Enterprise and Rotaran are still stronger than the Negh Var. Of course, they are higher tier, but I really have to have a look at those UC 6-star ships when I tier them up. And the other interesting point is that I already could see something about the strengths. You see, my Negh Var now is still tier 1. It has 15 levels that you can, or 15 tiers that you can upgrade, but mine is still tier 1. And it has 2 billion power at tier 1. And as I said, it has 140 million at the start in damage, and now I have 185. We will talk about the Akira this week as well, so I won't go into details, but if you look at this, my Akira is tier 3 and has 140 million damage. So it's much weaker in this case than the Negh Var, and I realized that as well while I was doing some tests. So it's really interesting to look at these ships. So if you have a brand new Negh Var and a brand new Akira, the Negh Var will be better against hostiles, and sometimes you really want to use those because of the better warp range than the 5-star epics. But at this point where I am with a tier 1 Negh Var and a tier 3 Akira, I'm still using my 5-star epics for the hostile hunt, for the dailies every morning in 6-star space, because they are still much better. So I still recommend to build at least one of those. First of all, you will need it for your Borg cube, and secondly, you will want to test out what you can. Your progress through the 60s levels will be quite slow. Unless you spend a lot of money, it will be quite slow, because building gets very expensive, not in case of the materials in this case, but of the speed ups. You get very few speed ups for my taste, and just 1 day speed up in Latinum at this level is 1.5 million Latinum. And so it's not that easy. Right now I'm quite good on Latinum because of the special event that we had, and that brought a lot of Latinum with it. But that's something that doesn't happen too often, and so I will always be in trouble with Latinum and speed ups. And so I can afford to build the ships that my reputation level allows, and you can do that. Talking about reputation levels, we quickly can have a look at the sourcing, of course, of the ship. You can get it in the Klingon faction while you are renowned, or as soon as you are renowned. And here I have the Negh Var blueprints. One blueprint costs 12,000 Klingon credits, so it's not too cheap to do that. But if you have most of them and get a little bit impatient and have collected some Latinum, you know that you can always use Latinum to buy blueprints here. They're not quite cheap, but it's still doable. So this will be your source for the Negh Var. And of course you need your level 63 shipyard for it as well, not only renowned at the Klingons, but only the shipyard, and then you can get it. But I'm really curious if some players that are playing a bit longer in the 60s levels than I did, because they are either on an older server or have spent more money than I did. That's easy. And so what is your opinion on the Negh Var, especially when you have it on higher tiers than I have it now? How worthwhile is it for you? Did you just do it for the Borg cube and then immediately went for the Koskari, for example, because you sped to level 66? That's interesting points that other viewers will be interested in. So please write it in the comments below the video and on Discord. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.